Alright everybody, today is the day where we go back to the track that I made a couple of weeks ago. I said it could take me like a month, it didn't actually take me a whole month. You know, let's actually go see how long exactly it's been. Let's go to my YouTube channel real quick. Let's see, I posted on August 3rd, today's the 12th, so it's been 9 days. It hasn't even been 2 weeks yet. Just want to say really quickly, if you guys want to see the making of the loop, you can go check out the video down below, thank you. So it's been 9 days since I started a challenge to where I was going to start a beat, make the loop, and then make a full song out of it with taking as much time as I felt like it needed. And yeah, I said it could have taken like a month, but honestly, I feel like a week is all that it needed. I feel like the loop was so good, I could have just left it like this, which is what actually this was right here. This is the original loop that we had that I made into a full track. I'm not gonna make you listen to the whole thing, but this is the loop that we had. Honestly, the loop itself, I think, turned out really great. It turned out exactly that I wanted it to. As you can see, I was going for like a kind of like an NF type deal, more of just using the same stuff that he would and then putting my own spin on it. You know, the impacts are very NF, the strings, the almost choir sounding. So we went from this right here to this right here. And the first thing you might notice is the severe lack of arrangement. Now, I don't really take a whole lot of time with my productions, which I'm going to be changing. This is actually very new to me, and everything is kind of all over the place. You got automations everywhere, you've got impacts, you got risers, you've got textural stuff with drums. It's all over the place. But honestly, I kind of feel like I strive in chaos. Like, I know exactly where everything is. You tell me where one thing is, I can probably tell you the exact track that it's in. So this was the new loop that we got. I'm gonna go through each one individually. Same piano, same everything. And on it, I put some reverb on it. I actually distorted it a little bit. I put too much distortion on purpose, and then used a little knob down here to go and fix it through there. I EQ'd some of the low end out, got even more of the low end out with Maximus, another EQ to get a little bit more of a smooth EQ, and a limiter for just some compression reasons. And for that, we have some automation for the volume because I don't have distortion going out through the entire thing. As you can see, the distortion is a little bit different through the beginning, the build up, and the chorus itself. And then we actually changed out the melody with a different sound too. And then for that one, all I did was add a little bit of EQ to it. Same exact drums, that's all we have right there. The only thing that I changed was actually the hi-hats. I did something pretty unique that I don't really do with the hi-hats too. Where did they go? But honestly, I kind of feel like I strive in chaos. Like, I know exactly where everything is. You tell me where one thing is, I can probably tell you the exact track that it's in. There they are. So this is what they sound like dry. It's some panning from left to right. And that was a little bit too simple for me, and I didn't really feel like it needed a whole lot of lower notes. So what I did is I added some gross beat, strangely enough, put some delay on it for some slight effects, a little bit of reverb, and finally some EQ to get rid of a little bit of the jarring high end. And it turned out like this. A little all over the place, but I kind of like that for the chorus, how it's beautiful with a little bit of chaos in it. But I only wanted those effects in the chorus, so I actually did some automation to get rid of it in the verse. And another really cool thing that I did was actually added an impact, but I also wanted my 808s in the chorus as well. So I added the impact, and then I actually made it cut itself by the 808. The 808s are picking up where the impact bass left off. And then for the chorus to end, it's still being cut by itself, so what I did also was added another note at the very end and then made it 0 velocity so that it'll just cut off right there. And then we had a nice little transition of a reverse yell, just some reverb on it, and then I actually got this panning automation right here, so it'll go from left to right. And after that huge chorus that we had, I wanted to kind of break it down with a kind of bouncy verse. It really makes you just want to like move your head. So it's very simple in the melody. I just had the chords with the melody inside of the chords, and then I created a whole new drums to try and get that groove going. And then simple 808. It's just 1 808 per bar and then 2 right there. And then just as a little textural thing, I added this ambiance. And also this little thing I got from Contact. It's a little bit goofy, but I kind of like how it brings up the spirit a little bit. And then for the second part of the verse, it's literally the exact same thing. I just added 2 things, which was this. and arpeggiation that we have from the original bell. That was one thing that I noticed that I've been lacking was whenever I got a loop going, I didn't want to create another melody and I didn't want to create other drums just because of the fact of I already did it, I don't have to do it again. And yes, it's lazy, but now that I actually took some more time with it, what I did was I would add a little bit to it each day. I would not sit down for 2 hours a day. It would just be like I added the arpeggiation one day, I added some more drums another day, really to get the groove going, and then took a whole day for mixing and mastering too, which is a little neat mastering trick that I'll show you in a little bit. And then after we built the groove, we went back into the chorus, and then after that, we actually went to this right here. Wanted to kind of slow things down a little bit and build a little bit more emotion behind it. But it seemed a little bit boring to me. So one thing that I did was actually added a little bit of texture, and that's a perk loop. It was a little bit too happy sounding for me, so I wanted to kind of bring it down and match the ambiance a little bit, so I pitched it down 12 semitones. But that also was not enough for me, so I added a little bit of reverb and a limiter. And this is what it came out with total. Go back into the groove. And finally the outro, I just kept the arpeggiation going afterwards. Started a little bit of a decrease in volume. Kept the ambiance in the background, and then we're actually gonna go a little bit further beyond. And it's the same impact, just reversed. And that's how it ends. And I kind of left out the intro on purpose. This is actually my favorite part of the entire track. I love creating intros. It's just I love a build-up, you know? Usually I would use a little bit more compression, but I really wanted the dynamic range to really stand out and have it be a really loud part of the track and a really somber, quiet part of the track. And for those of you who don't know, dynamic range in terms of noise is going to be the lowest part of the track and the loudest part of the track. That's the dynamic range. So I wanted that to be a little bit more in this one. And if you notice this little knob down here in the bottom left corner, I just started doing mono mixing, and it has improved my mixing and mastering dramatically. So we actually got a little bit of automation for it. Where did it go? But honestly, I kind of feel like I strive in chaos. Like, I know exactly where everything is. You tell me where one thing is, I can probably tell you the exact track that it's in. Yeah, okay. So we've got this automation. So the first 25 bars are actually going to be all on mono, and then it's going to decrease and go back to neutral in the knob for stereo and be normal how it would be. And it's just going to make everything explode with dynamicism? Whatever. So we started off with just the arpeggiation and the ambiance, and actually a little bit of a rain sample too, which I automate some of the volume out of each of them. The rain really helps set the mood and lets you know what you're getting yourself into. So we're decreasing the volume of the ambiance and the rain and raising the arpeggiation. And then for these chords, I literally just left them as chords and took out the melody part of them. And then right here, this is actually a reverse drone that I actually added to kind of build up over time. I wanted it to be kind of like craziness right before the drop, but I didn't want it to interfere with the impacts too, because that's like the main driving point of this part. EQ'd a lot of the low end out, and then brought it back in when there's only that, kind of like as a fake build-up. And then one thing that NF uses is impacts a lot to really drive his point home, so that's what I did here. That was my beat tag, my new beat tag that I made. I added some delay input, but only on the after complete, and then input volume for it a little bit lower too. And then this little knob right here is going to complement really well with the riser that we have right here. And the drums help you know that there's a little bit coming, and then the drop will happen. So two risers, so a riser right here, and the drums create a really nice buildup, as well as you are now, this is all in mono, and now it's going to be all in stereo separation. So it's going to be complete explosion of just absolute noise. It's so, I get goosebumps every single time that I hear it, man. It's so good. So I just realized that my lights weren't on, so I probably couldn't see any of my face, but we're good now. And once the beat was completely done and we finished all the mixing, we actually went to the next stage, which is mastering. Mastering is pretty simple. I used the Ozone 8 Elements by Isotope to kind of get my first bases going. You just hit master assist, you hit yes, it listens to the loudest part of the track and then goes off of that. But it's very cookie cutter, so I wanted to go in and add some of the stuff that it took out and then remove some of the stuff that it added. So I went back into Maximus, added some of the bass back a little bit, did some of the stereo separation, and it was done. The mastering was super simple. After doing the Ozone 8, everything just kind of fell into place. Alright, so I think that's gonna be just about it for the beat breakdown. Honestly, this was one of the best experiences that I've had as a producer. You know, with me always worrying about getting a video out or making a beat every single day, I had no time to actually complete a project like I did here. This is really gonna help in the long run with me actually. Once I keep on doing this one, I'm gonna be able to keep on doing it faster, which means I can probably do it in all of my tracks, and I'll know what to add. Honestly, the two main things that I'm happiest with this track was me doing the mono mixing. That helped out a great deal, and then also adding textural stuff. When things seem a little bit dull, you can add some stuff to just add a little bit of spice to it, you know? It's not gonna be the making or breaking of the beat, but it's just gonna, even if the listener doesn't hear it that well, their ear is gonna hear it. What? Their subconscious is gonna hear it, and they're not gonna know why they like it, but they're gonna like it. And that's why I added the percussion loop down here. That really helped out the beat a lot. So little nuances that I would not have done in a quick beat that I did here that just made a world of a difference. And I want to keep on doing these. Alright, now I just want to say I'm actually going to be going to Lake Havasu in Arizona, so this is going to be a little bit pre-recorded, and I'm going to be out there for a few days, but I'll come back and I'll keep on recording. I'm going to do some vlogging stuff out there, so you guys will see that as well. So look forward to that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.